Creating Power BI reports is key to deliver your points and metrics to the business line and to achieve a simple, easy to read and with all of the KPIs requirements. In this video, I'll show you how to transform this to this with tips on the best design techniques out there and their use cases. Welcome to X Analytica, I'm Anas, and if this is the first time you visit my channel, please make sure to click on the subscribe button if you'd like to see similar content in the future. Power BI reports can be designed both on Power BI Desktop and the Power BI service, which is the web portal. Power BI apps doesn't allow you to design reports, it only supports the consumer report experience. Generally, you should place the most important information in the upper left corner of the page and arrange the report elements from left to right and top to bottom, depending on the language. For example, Arabic is written from right to left, so should your report, and make sure to position related report objects in logical groups that makes a connection between visual elements. The rule of thirds proposes that a page layout should be divided into an invisible grid of 9 equal parts. The grid is formed by 2 equally spaced horizontal lines and 2 equally spaced vertical lines. Then report objects can be placed within the cells of the grid. Golden ratio as a guide to produce a symmetrical balance which is achieved through contrast, where two quantities are in the golden ratio if their ratio is the same as the ratio of their sum to the larger of the two quantities. Or you can choose to go with a symmetrical balance, which is achieved by distributing the weight evenly on both halves of the page. So the first thing I'm gonna start with this, I'm gonna build the same visuals on this report, which is poorly designed. Put a card that has the total sales, and I'm gonna rename it. So the report structure includes visuals, which is visualizations from semantic model data, and elements, which is visual interest that doesn't use semantic model data, such as text boxes, shapes, buttons, and images. I'll include another card that with total orders, insert a bar chart that has the total sales with the category, rename the x-axis to have the total sales. Then I'm gonna insert the rest of the charts. It's the same card charts, and then I'll insert a donut chart, as well as a high-level summary on the first page and supporting detail on the following pages. It might make sense to have a report with many pages, and other times it could be better to separate, especially when you design these reports for different audiences or you need to secure, share, or distribute them differently. Filter it with the top 10 to the total sales. And the same, I'm gonna filter to have the top 10 in regards to the sales or top 10 sellers. Margin sizes should be equal on the left and right, but with possible variations on the top and bottom. Space on the top or bottom can show branding, titles, or other information, and then I'm gonna insert a new bar chart that has the margin on its x-axis and the region or the country on its y-axis. And then I'll insert a table that includes multiple lists or multiple columns to show the data that I have in more detail. So basically it's the same, it includes the same visuals. Of course, you can change the page size to predefined or custom dimensions, again based on your requirements or the report's requirements. And also for the visual size, you can play around with it. So usually report consumers focus more on will quickly focus on larger visuals. Of course, when similar visuals are on the page such as a series of card visuals, they should be equally sized. So the alignment and spacing also between visuals should be consistent throughout the report. I'll change the color of the background of the report page, which is something that's really important for it to be more visually appealing to the report consumer. Then I'm gonna change a text, which is for the title. I'm gonna name it sales report, and I'll change the size and I'll insert a logo, the X Analytica logo on the report, so we could have it on the report page. So you need to make sure that spacing objects relates to related metrics in your report page and to its separate elements. And then I'll adjust the visual elements such as color, the color of the bars and the background color of the visuals to white, and I want to make it transparent and change the bar colors so it stands out in the report page and it's more appealing to the consumer, to the report consumer. Also, I'm gonna change the padding, which is the spacing between the visual borders and between the chart itself. So I'm gonna change it. I'm changing it for the table, to also make sure to separate the table from the chart above. And then I can match the properties of the other charts so I don't repeat the same process over and over again. And the same things, I'll change the visuals, the visuals background color and elements and properties so it stands out and it's more appealing to the business line. And of course, in the border section, you can set the border around the visual to isolate the visual from other elements on the canvas. In this step, I'm trying to change I'm changing the bar colors. So the first step is I change them all to white, and then I'm gonna choose bikes and change it to blue to separate which category is the most seller, or which category has the most ordered quantities. And then I change the title color to white and make it transparent. And in this step, I change the properties of the cards, of the individual cards on the right or in the middle, to have it also more appealing to the business line. And so I change the font and make it the background transparent, so it appears on the canvas and it combines to the canvas without it stands out on the canvas. Consistency is key, so your report should be consistent throughout its formats. In this step, I'm gonna add shapes, rectangular shapes, to include the visuals that are related in topic. Separate the different visuals with the use of rectangles or shapes such as rectangles, and to group them together so the customer or the report user can distinguish their need, or distinguish where to find what, for example, data related to sales or data related to categories, etc. and etc. So also changing the border to white so it reflects back on the canvas and it separates the different visuals or the different groups on the canvas. Repeating the process again and repeating the process again on the rest of the groups or the rest of the visuals. So having having visuals with close proximity and related colors will produce implied sections. And for explicit sections, I can just separate them with the use of rectangles. Also, you notice that using the color, it should be meaningful, and overusing it could be distracting. So in this report, I stuck to a few softer colors as a base, and also you can possibly align with the corporate color that you have that you're representing in your data or in your report. Also, common formatting options include title, background, and border. The aim of the title, of course, it's to describe the data as being represented in the visual. And the background section, you can change the color, to meet your demands or the report's requirements. Organizing elements over one or more report pages is the process of designing a Power BI report. Although there's lots of leeway in how you can accomplish that, it's really crucial to comply with requirements by providing data to customers in an understandable manner. Choosing the right visual from categorical, time series, proportional, numeric, grid, performance, and geospatial increases your chances of success. So you need to have reports that are well placed, balanced with good proximity, and including repetition of important insights. In addition to making reports appealing by controlling spacing such as margins and object spacing, size such as page size and visual size, alignment including implicit and explicit sections, color and consistency throughout the report. Designing a dashboard report to show inventory stock levels over time. What type of report visual should you choose to effectively show stock levels? And the second is that you're designing an analytical report. It must include a visual that allows report consumers to explore and discover detailed sales values over time and by store. What type of report visual should you choose to support the report consumer requirement? And the third is that you're designing a dashboard report. It must prominently show values of sales, revenue, units sold, costs of goods sold, and profit. And each value should be compared to a target value. What type of report visual should you choose to support the report consumer requirement? Thank you for watching this video. Please click on the thumbs up if you like it and subscribe to Xanalytica if you'd like to see similar content in the future.